Hi, welcome to another CentremapsLive video. We're lucky enough to be joined again by Jeremy Haigh from Apogee Property Consultants. Jeremy and the team at Apogee have got a lot of expertise in bringing together utility information, but also more than that, how it applies to the property development sector. We do a lot with Apogee, and if you come and get a search from our site, you'll find it's the Apogee searches we're providing. We've got some videos out about that as well, and also about the fast view that we offer if you want to get that information that's been collated into CAD or GIS or even a layered PDF. And we've also done another video recently about point of connection reports, which talk about when you're doing a new development, how you're going to get the utilities on site, what's the best method to move forward with that. Today, we're talking about the CDM, the Construction Design and Management Regulations. So, Jeremy, what is a Utility CDM Risk Report?
It's nice to be with you again today, Andy. Our CDM Risk Report helps clients to understand health and safety risks, those associated with underground utilities. After all, there's nothing more risky, is there, than something that we cannot see. It's also hard for our clients to read utility plans against their scheme drawings and understand what's next in the management of utility plant. Our report helps clients understand their pathway through the various bits of guidance and statute in the area and delivers a document for the pre-contract health and safety pack.
And why is this format of report so important, or just having that report in place?
The new CDM regulations place much more responsibility on a client and the principal designer to get the pre-contract health and safety pack right. As you know, Andy, it's a client's responsibility to ensure an adequate pre-contract health and safety pack where they haven't appointed a principal designer. In a lot of cases, managing and understanding utility costs and risks is something that clients leave to the last minute. They can't, in our view, and they're better off understanding these risks right from the outset.
What are the key features about how the report's structured to bring that information together?
So it includes an analysis of the utility conflict, depending on what the client is proposing. We check the client's scheme proposals against the different types of utility plant and provide a series of detailed recommendations to ensure that the client is designing and building the site as safely as they conceivably can. It also includes a commentary on plans and the summary of next steps to take themselves through the guidance for compliance.
As you say, there's a lot of regulation in industry that state there are reasons to guide us, things like the health and safety's executives HSG 47, which is specifically avoiding danger from underground services. How do you help to use that guidance to form the report and make sure that you're answering all those needs?
Our report takes us through not only HSG 47, but through the steps given to us by the British Standards Institute's PAS 1 to 8. That follows the utility development life cycle for us, starts with quality level D and takes us all the way through to quality level A. So our CDM report helps guide the client as to what the appropriate levels of survey may be required in certain circumstances. And it also enables the client to provide an adequate scope. And that's what PAS 1 to 8 was actually all about. It was about making sure that clients, their designers, and their contractors could properly scope for utility practitioners what surveys were required in what circumstances, and make sure that there was a level playing field in the procurement of surveys in the particular circumstances.
And so having got the report, what are the main uses the report's put to, who's using it and how are they applying it?
So I think I've said the report can be used by the client, designer, contract administrator to help with the design of a site. It can help with understanding utility conflict. Our consultants use it for something called value engineering, where they help the client to understand what they can put where in order to avoid utility plant. But it also helped with program risk management and the whole avoidance problem. That it really steers a client through the process.
Yeah, and it mentioned risk, and obviously there's always some risk. What methods does a report look at to how you moderate that risk?
Yeah, so we provide an ALARP analysis inside the report. That means as low as reasonably practical. And that provides a summary of the risks present in table format so that the client can not only read through the detail of what's being recommended, but it can also provide a summary of what the client should focus on most in order to mitigate risk.
Yeah, obviously covered the detailed report, but have you got any practical examples of where the report's been put to use?
Yeah, so one of our best examples is our Hotwood Hall Site. We had a college client who was looking to develop a green energy strategy, including solar panels, 220 or so whole ground source heat pump scheme, as well as a new energy centre. The project itself had conflict with the entire range of utility plant that was existing between the highway and the college itself. It conflicted with high and low pressure gas mains, high and low voltage electricity plant, as well as water, sewer, and telecoms plant. And what the report did was provided some clear guidance as to what levels of surveys, what levels of accuracy would be required for each of the areas of the scheme. And that enabled the client to provide some detailed scoping for any survey work that they needed to do. We provided our utility search, which is a prerequisite for our reports, but also the fast view. The fast view enabled us to present to the client very clearly which areas of the site were high risk and which areas of the site were sort of less of a risk. I mean, it really brought to life the utility plans for the client and enabled them to understand what they were doing on their next steps.
And what were the kind of main takeaways from the report that I know there's a lot of these customers, once they've had one, they keep coming back. What are the takeaways that they're really picking out?
It's about enabling the client to visualize what utility plant is where, and the fast view really helped to bring that to life for them. This particular client had some familiarity with utility plans, but not the kind of experience that we've got in making sure that you understand, or a client understands, what needs to be done with each different type of utility plant in order to ensure compliance. And that's where the CDM Risk Report comes in.
So I guess the all-important question for a lot of people is the cost of the reports. And can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so look, we offer fixed fees on everything that we do, but we retail up to 25 hectares. The CDM risk assessment needs to be bought with a utility search, as I think I said earlier. It's much better to buy a fast view, particularly when you're around the 20 to 25 hectare mark. So, yeah, then they're not expensive, but against what they're managing, they're great value.
Yeah, and I think in particular, and it's the same for the point of connection reports, and I think it makes it a lot simpler for people to have this productized version rather than a pure fresh consultancy piece each time.
Yeah, what we're trying to do, of course, is we're trying to get clients to budget these things in rather than just assuming that they're too expensive to do. That's the whole reason for the mission of commoditizing consultancy services.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jeremy. So I think the next step for anyone who's interested, do come to the CentremapsLive site. We've got samples that Apogee have kindly provided. And if you want to get a hold of a report, you're welcome to go onto the interface, the same place that you'd find all your mapping, and you can mark out your report area there. Or you're equally welcome to get in touch, drop us an email with a site that you've got of interest in. But thanks again to Jeremy.
My pleasure.
Look forward to seeing you in another video.